How many YouTube people we got?
We have 1,300 subscribers.
Ooh, that's nice.
So you can't make room for our 1,300 subscribers in your fucking busy schedule.
Baby, don't play that. I'm gonna be working less.
I'm just saying, why can't you be there for your kids? Welcome, everybody, to Episode 8 of the Run Button Podcast. I'm here, it's Kyle Churchill, and...
Andy Short, hey!
Hey! E3 is over, we're
Episode 8?
Episode 8. Yeah, We've not been up on it, really. We're basically, if you average it out, we're at one a month here. We've done eight podcasts in as many months.
Episode 7 seems like just yesterday.
Yeah, it really does. So this is... We kind of, due to some people, we both missed the sort of like right after E3 window.
Yeah.
And also somebody messed up our scheduling, so Keith can't be here.
Listen, it's my circadian rhythm, man. Gotta keep it intact.
Really?
Yeah, I got lots of circadas.
What does that have to do with anything?
Gotta tend to them. I don't know.
What does that mean?
Sleeping?
I mean, I know, right? Actually, no. Sleeping in the middle of the day.
Listen, what Kyle meant to tell you guys is that we're here to bring you some well stewed upon, thoughtful, hard hitting analysis.
Yes, I love that. I love that spin on it. Like, we're not just gonna jump out right after E3 and just like regurgitate all this bullshit. Like, we've really put time into this. We've thought about it, and by thought about it, I mean I haven't thought about it for 2 weeks.
We've written and deleted entire blog posts.
That's right.
God, I'm glad I don't blog.
We did just moments prior to this. We did just rewatch the Watch Dogs stage demo.
Yeah.
So the question is, who watches the Watch Dogs? Me and you.
Us twice, exactly.
Yeah. So let's just talk about that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because that seems to be the game that everyone's really excited about, or at least it's at least the one game that people aren't not excited about, people. It seems like people are really trying to hold it up, like fucking it's like amazing, like that's the one game. But isn't it more like it's the one game that we saw that we still don't exactly know what it is, and like that's enough for like game of the show?
Well, also it's like it's the only thing that wasn't already like hasn't been a franchise for like 20 years.
Yeah,
you know, like
that and Beyond that they showed off at the Sony press conference. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
I think it looks really good. It's kind of like it's
Ellen Page.
Ellen Page.
Cool.
Yeah, so she plays the main character, and it's like modeled after her, so it looks like her.
Wait. Is it a quirky comedy about her getting pregnant young?
No, actually, it's not. It's like about this girl who has like some kind of like a ghost friend, or like some ghost that's like tied to her.
Yeah.
And so it's like she goes around, and like the ghost can do things. Like the ghost can pick things up, and I think the ghost can even possess people.
Huh.
Maybe.
Well, you didn't have that when you were a kid?
Was that something I missed out on?
I vividly remember that.
I mean, I think I did have an invisible person that was always with me. They just couldn't interact with other things in the world. I'm talking about God.
Yeah,
of course.
Big guy upstairs.
He was always with me.
God
and
bless.
is still here with me now. And I don't know. There's something like the stuff that they showed is like she's getting chased by the police and stuff.
Yeah.
And like that. I don't know. It looks interesting. Like it's from
Quantic Dream?
Quantic Dream, who made Heavy Rain and Fahrenheit / Indigo Prophecy. People really seem to not like Heavy Rain.
Yeah?
So they're not excited about this. Like, to them, it's like I don't know. People are like even already ragging on Beyond. Like, they had it like you didn't see the Sony press conference.
No.
So what it was they were like, they kind of did a big reveal. It's like, we're revealing now, like, our actress who's going to be playing the main character is like a Oscar-nominated actress, Ellen Page, and it showed like her face and stuff. Yeah. And then they showed a scene from the game, and it was like her sitting quietly and kind of like giving a police officer, like the 1,000-yard stare, as he like walks around her and tries to ask her questions like, were you in an accident? Were you hurt? What's wrong? I'm trying to help you. And she's just staring straight ahead, and it's just like nothing but people on Twitter being like, oh, look at her great acting as she sits quietly and stares at people. Oh, like, guys, I know it's hard because you're used to video games, but talking isn't the only part of acting.
Yeah.
There's like a whole face thing and like a thing that you do with your body, but okay, just make your jokes, whatever.
I didn't learn. I was an acting major for a year and a half. I didn't learn about what you're talking about, but that was like what I missed.
Wait.
I hear like it's pretty extensive. I'm looking into it.
Oh, you didn't get to like acting 203?
I didn't get to
not talking?
I didn't get to face and body class. No, but I mean, say what you will about Sony, like being kind of weird and in denial about PS Vita and all that stuff. But like, I think it's awesome that they'll just throw money at Quantic Dream, and Quantic Dream will do cool stuff with stories.
And that was like, they opened the show with that pretty much. Like, everyone else was just like, like, look at Halo 4. And Halo 4 looked good. I'm not taking away from Halo 4. But it's another Halo. It's another game where you're the gun, right? Like,
yeah.
I know how that goes. I mean, they're showing new stuff, not the Covenant, whatever. Mm-hmm. But even, especially like Call of Duty and like all the, even Splinter Cell, it's like, I know what third-person action games are. But, it was like, because Sony came at the end of the day, and the whole day was just filled with like all this stuff that was like so uninteresting. It was either like games that I already know about, or it's like talking about ESPN sports packages on Xbox Live.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the actual press conferences, but I was following the coverage, and like from what I saw, it seemed like there was some heavy hitting stuff at the beginning, and then of each of them, and then it just kind of petered out.
Yeah, Xbox.
I guess want to talk Sony. Like, is that all you have for Sony, or anything else?
Well, there was Wonderbook. Did you see Wonderbook?
I didn't. No,
Holy
but
shit!
I already have like a bad feeling.
Oh god. No, okay, well here's the thing about Sony, and this is my opinion of them last year, is that like, even though I don't think they always have the best games to show off, like they don't have the hardest hitting ammo in the chamber, they still make the most of it. Like, Sony is the one that really gets
they're the most upbeat.
No, but they really understand like what an E3 press conference should be. It's like Microsoft knows that it's public facing. So it's kind of like, I feel like they don't structure their press conference around what people want to see. They structure around what they want people to see. Like, we need to show them that we have, like Bing integration, and we're bringing internet to the dashboard. Like, people need to know about this. Like, not really considering, do people care about it?
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Sony realizes what people want to see. It's like, they want to see, like, new games they haven't seen before. They want to see, like, gameplay of said games and that kind of stuff. It's like, Sony, I think, always puts on the best E3 show.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they know their audience really well.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Microsoft's like Don Matrick gets like an email once a year. It's like, we got this E3 thing. It's like, cameras?
Don Matrick was probably better than he's been in years past. He was not as bad.
Wait, no. So he was in a coma? Is that what you're saying? Because the bar for him being better is so low. What?
So, yeah. That's what I mean. I kind of mean like he said things unenthusiastically, and that was about as much as you could say about it. Unlike, years previous where there was probably a lot more you could say about it.
There's something about, I don't know, there's something about Don Matrick being, I mean, not to crowd on the Don Matrick's terrible at public speaking train.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like he's trying to relive, like, it's like watching a shitty, like, middle school speech and debate class.
What?
Yeah. It's terrible. He's a sad
To me,
man.
it more just seems like a poor man who's not a great public speaker, but a lot of people seem to really think he should be speaking publicly, so he just has to. Like, I'm sure Don Matrick doesn't want to be up there.
I don't know. I mean, if you look at I think he really wants to.
You know what? Maybe. I don't think so.
Evidence. Here's my evidence. The fucking Tim Cook, right, for Apple, CEO of Apple, he did like some press conferences and stuff, and he's not great at talking in front of people.
I haven't seen him speak.
Exactly. You know why? Because he knows he's shitty at it, and he gets the people that are good at it at Apple to talk instead.
Like, here's the thing. At EA's press conference, theirs was maybe the worst. I don't know.
Yeah.
Microsoft's was the worst. But they had all these people. I don't really remember who was speaking at EA, but they had like just like a bunch of people that sucked, and then for like 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, for like 30 seconds, they had Peter Moore out there, and he's and like everyone's rapt, and everyone's like, yes, Peter Moore, we love Peter Moore. Just have Peter Moore do the EA press conference all the time.
What's he doing?
Everyone knows that he's great. He's the COO. So whatever those people
So he'll
do.
be like the CEO after Riccatello gets taken down? Is that kind of what?
Maybe. I don't know.
When's that train leaving the station?
They had Riccatello up on stage. He looked haggard. I think. I could be remembering wrong.
Unshaven?
But Ubisoft had Aisha Tyler, and she pretty much killed it. She was really good.
Who is she?
She is
I know Jade Raymond.
She is no, she's an actress who also is known for liking video games.
Oh, and she just did the whole show?
Yeah, pretty much. She was the host, and then they also had like another guy who does like YouTube stuff, and so she was interacting with him. People seemed to really think that he was annoying and shitty. I didn't think he was that bad. I thought it was like pretty. Like they had scripted jokes and stuff, but like they could actually handle scripted jokes pretty much, so it actually worked out. Whereas like I think Nintendo, it was either Nintendo or Sony, was the ones they still tried to put in scripted jokes, but for people that are like businessmen, so they're just like it was fucking painful. It was so bad.
How about that Q2? Those Q2 financials, am I right?
Something like it was. There was one part. It was either Sony, I think it was Nintendo, where they were like, "Here's It was they had the head of Ubisoft come out on the Nintendo stage to talk about like Ubisoft's, what they're doing for Wii U or something. It's like, here's so and so to talk about Wii U for a minute, and he comes out like, "Thanks, so and so. Only a minute, huh? Jeez, thanks a lot." Crickets. It's like,
So what's the deal with stock options? I'm working on my
No, that's the thing. If they were talking about stock options, they might have been pretty good.
They might have hit.
Problem. Like Microsoft fucked up again because they let Trey Parker and Matt Stone on stage.
Yeah.
And they reminded people what funny, interesting people sound and look like.
Yeah.
And it just painted the whole rest of the press conference terribly.
That's unfortunate. So, all right. So we got kind of Sony piece. What was Nintendo? What happened? I mean, they showed their little
flatline,
thing.
Man. Like.
Oh, so they finally released that fucking little.
No, that would have been great if it was
that
like
pulse thing.
That would be a great Kotaku headline, like Nintendo Vitality Sensor flatlines on E3 stage. Bang bang.
Bada boom.
No, they was just like they showed off Pikmin 3 like right off the bat, and I'm a big Pikmin fan, so I was just like, yeah, I'm sold. So I have to buy a Wii U at some point.
God
and then
damn it.
Like they showed trailers for like New Super Mario Bros. 2, which is a 3DS game, and New Super Mario Bros. U, which is going to be a Wii U game. So, and those looked.
I get it. I get the name joke. I get how they switched that up.
What?
New Super Mario Bros. 2, New Super Mario Bros. U.
I think they rhyme, but I don't think it's intentional.
I don't know.
And those look good because they're Mario games, and Mario games are good.
Yeah, they're always
And
good.
then other than that, I don't really remember. Like, it was just kind of... like, the thing was everyone went in thinking, like, oh, there's going to be a ton of Wii U news. Like, they're going to talk all about the system and all about the games. And, like, not really.
Did they...
Like,
I mean, they didn't even announce a price point yet.
no.
Right.
I don't think people really expected that.
Yeah,
But
is that another thing?
I think, like, with the Wii, they announced it, like, in August or September.
Okay. I did see that they confirmed that you will be able to use a second gamepad with that thing.
Right.
But no games will support it at launch.
Right.
That's what I heard.
Great. Yeah, they added that in. And also, a thing that they didn't really mention in the press conference is that when you use a second gamepad, it cuts the frame rate on the gamepad in half. Like, so it can only send out a limited number of frames, so when you have two gamepads, it just kind of splits the frames between two.
So it's not going to be the same at all as if you had, like, not the same functionality as two, right? I mean...
That's interesting. I'm not really sure. All I know is that it can only handle, like, let's say if it's 30 frames a second, it can only handle 30 gamepad frames maximum. So if you have two, it's going to be 15 on each.
If it was 60, we'd be fine. But I don't know.
yeah, exactly.
I'm sure Nintendo isn't putting that much.
I've heard it's pretty noticeable, but
yeah.
I mean, 15 frames is not the worst thing. Like, you could deal with it.
It's the end of the world. It's game over, man.
Listen, it's not the end of the world, but you can see it from here.
What was
Deus Ex
Nintendo's...
told us? Deus Ex said it best.
Really. Was that a Deus Ex line?
Yeah, it's not the end of the world, but you can see it from here. You should play it. It's good.
I wanna. I think I'm gonna do the used game switcheroo.
Really?
The classic. Yeah, where guys renting games is still a thing. It's just called paying $40 for it and then returning it.
You could rent a game from Redbox.
I don't like it.
No?
No, because with this system, I get all my money back.
Right.
It's really just a holding.
Then also, you could either forget to return it or decide you don't really want to return it, and then you're out of the money.
That's true.
Like Castlevania Lords of Shadow I bought recently, and it was like $30, and I was like, $30 is probably more than I want to spend, but I don't know, I can return it. And then it's just sort of like, no.
I think I did that with Rayman, where I was like, oh, I'm going to play this game forever. And then I played it for... Yeah. I played it for like 4 days. No. Xbox, man.
Did it come out on Xbox?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Things out for everything.
Oh.
Did well.
Was that recent?
Yeah, that was like a month or two ago.
Oh, okay.
But, what was I going to say? I'm all sidetracked. What, for the Wii, the first Wii, the original Wii, is there only new IP, Wii Sports? Is that all they got?
New Nintendo IP?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they talked about that on Giant Bomb one time. Like, someone asked, like, Iwata or Miyamoto or somebody, like, how come, no new IP, no new characters for Wii? And they were like, what about Woohoo Island in Wii Sports Resort? Like, the island is like a character.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I like...
And they said Mii's. They were like, we got Mii's and Woohoo Island. Like,
it's unfortunate. It's just so weird because you see, even GameCube, you get kind of... I would argue Metroid Prime is almost like a new...
It's at least a new franchise. They had Pikmin.
Yeah, they had Pikmin.
Even GameCube, yeah, they kind of had nothing.
They didn't really have much. I mean... Did you hear the thing where, like, this past year lost more money for them than any year, even including the GameCube?
I heard that, yeah.
It's sad.
Which is... Yeah, it's funny, because during the GameCube era, everyone was kind of like, Nintendo's in trouble.
Yeah.
They're almost out of the console business. And then it turned out, like, even through the GameCube, they never had a loss. Like, they were still profitable all the time. It was crazy.
It was and that has a lot to do with, like, R&D, like, for the Wii U and stuff, but...
Yeah,
like they're spending money,
Are they like... I don't know, because people were saying, like, what happened to all their Wii money? Like, they got mountains of money, and then
Wii money. Hey, you guys, you get the Wii money? What's going on?
Someone, I think it was the Giant Bomb podcast, they were like, I don't know, maybe I guess they spent it on Wii U R&D? I mean, like, if that's true, that's like way more money than should be spent on R&D, right?
They have a ton of money in the bank. It was just
right.
For the year, they spent more money than they made just specifically this year.
You're right. They are still the daddy warbucks of video games. Okay.
But I don't know.
Michael Pachter was talking about this though, that he was all right. Now
love him.
I'm not a businessman, so I can't say this as well as Pachter said it.
What's the deal with those going publics? Those IPOs?
I don't know what Pachter thinks about that, but he was talking about how like Nintendo as a company, like their stock or whatever, like if you multiply the price of the stock by how many stocks they have, you get a total value of the company, and that's sort of like the value that's decided by the market. And they said that the price that is sort of decided by the market is actually significantly lower than what you could probably sell Nintendo for, whatever. Like it's actually lower than its real value. And they say like, why is that? Because like they have all the biggest franchise in games. They have Mario.
Yeah.
And
they got new Super Mario.
They've got new Super Mario, 3D Mario,
3D Land Mario,
Samus.
Luigi's Mansion,
Donkey Kong. But they have all these big things, and more importantly, they have all these developers that are great at making games and all this kind of stuff. But it's like they spend all their money in weird ways, and they make all these weird bets like the Wii U and stuff. I mean, in fairness, their weird bets have paid off largely. That's true.
Maybe. I mean, even 3DS is doing all right. It's not like lighting the world on fire. But
that's true.
I
heard it's selling better at this point in its life than the DS was at the
same point.
At the same point. Yeah, that's right. There you go.
Yeah.
But then again, that's because it's kind of riding the success of the DS anyways.
Totally.
But,
and it's also, I would imagine, it seems everything I've seen has been like, we don't really expect it to get to where the DS got either. Like, there's not really...
It's just the more I've been thinking about it, it's like, why? I mean, I get why Nintendo's still making hardware.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's what they do, and they make money off the hardware anyways, but it's like, how much better would it be for everyone except maybe like the businessmen at Nintendo if they were just a software developer? Like, because everyone who buys Nintendo hardware only does it for Nintendo games.
Yeah.
So what if we didn't have to buy hardware to get Nintendo games?
And the only reason that they've swung it is because their hardware is profitable, so it's not this losing proposition as it is for like a lot of other companies
That's
where
true,
like
yeah.
they have to.
But
like,
then it's like, that's good for Nintendo. Like, everyone always brings it up like, oh, smart move, Nintendo, you're making money on all your hardware. It's like, you mean they're fucking us. That's what you mean when you say that they're really smart. They're really smart at fucking us.
yeah. They're
Like-
forcing us to put another box under our Christmas
Like,
tree.
the Wii could have cost $99 at launch, is what you
Yeah.
mean. Maybe not that much, but whatever.
I don't know. That thing is a baby.
I remember when the Wii was coming out and people were like, fucking, it's like a GameCube. It's like 2 GameCubes with duct tape and what?
Yeah.
And like, their defense was like, listen guys, there's like a lot of like power, like new power saving technology and other stuff that like allows us to make it really small. It's not like there's not any new technology in there, you guys.
It's smaller.
Okay.
Things have shrunk. I mean, actually, the
Make
weird
it
thing,
bigger, I'll be fine
the
with
weird
it, I
thing is,
promise.
like, looking back on that now, like, really? The Wii is basically just a GameCube. I mean, there's really...
It really was.
there
I remember
no
even
difference.
that. I was talking to you and I'm like, hey, the Wii looks cool, right? And you're like, dude, it's like a GameCube peripheral. I'm like, come on. Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's being down on Nintendo's in vogue again, which I'm happy about.
Was it ever not?
Nah, there was a while
'Cause
when they were
even-
making lots of money. We were like, well, that's kind of we don't like your deal, but you're making money.
We kind of had to like hand it to him. It's like,
Yeah.
this is all really dumb, but I gotta hand it to you. You're making money.
It's like we have this thing in America, right, guys? I don't know if you've been to America, where we fucking love it if you make money. If you make money, we love
it's
you.
like, we have to respect you. They're making. Hey,
Sorry. Who'd you fire? I don't care. Made money. Made money on it.
yeah. It just kind of like the Wii words.
Go for it. Keep going.
It just seemed like everyone was like really ready to see what they had for Wii U at the press conference, and they just didn't have anything. They had Zombie U, and that was like the one thing that was like,
So they really didn't bring any games except for Mario.
oh man, and they spent so much time talking about Nintendo Land. Did you see anything about that?
What is that?
It's like something that we're pretty sure is going to be like some sort of pack-in, or it's just going to be shipped on the Wii U or something, and it's like, they talked all about how it's like, it's a virtual theme park, Nintendo Land, and you can go in there with your Mii, and it's all about, it's basically like a mini game collection. It's just got like a bunch of stuff where they kind of took Wii U tech demos and kind of slightly turned them into more of a game.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was so uninteresting, and they spent so much time talking about it, they closed the press conference with it, and it
Yeah.
was like,
Wait, it sounds like a collision of the wildly successful Microsoft Game Labs and no, what was that? The arcade shit they did? Where it was like, and on XBLA it was like this, it was like a game that you go into and then you go play with the quarters. You liked it.
Game Room.
It sounds like a combination of Game Room and the wildly successful PlayStation Home smashed together Nintendo style.
In their defense, it sounds better than that. It looked better than that, but it was just so awful where it was like the E3 press conference before a system launch, it should be like a mile a minute. Like, they have so much information to give you, they can't even stop. And they had like fucking guy on stage like giving this really like elaborate explanation of like this Luigi's Mansion mini game that's going to be in Nintendo Land. And it was like,
Yeah.
I couldn't pay attention to this if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And they ended with like just showing like a slow pan of Nintendo Land, like as fireworks went off, to like just like absolute silence from the audience, just like. And so watching it from the live stream was the most painful thing, because it was literally just a completely silent shot of Nintendo Land as like fireworks, like.
I wonder if they went back in their recorded press conference and put clapping in there.
Oh man,
Please clap.
That was rough. And like, even like, people talk about Zombie U as being the one thing, the one third-party game that looks interesting, like
Yeah.
it's at least made for design. That game can't be good.
Oh god.
I mean, look at the name, Zombie U. Like, Ubisoft thinks so little of it, they couldn't even come up with a name.
No,
they
but
didn't even name it. They just
gonna...
it might like if this was like a first-person shooter, it would be like Gunfight You.
Gunfight You.
Like that's like less
Mushu.
effort than Red Steel. Like Red Steel was exactly kind of what Zombie U was, but it was just like let's take the first idea that we have for a game on the Wii and then make it.
Was Red Steel 2 good?
People say it was okay.
Okay.
No one's like, yeah, Red Steel 2. Like, it was fucking, yeah, man. Like, no one appreciates it. They were just like, that was a game that functioned.
I can't wait for Conduit 3.
Oh,
Conduit U.
Oh, Conduit 3 is supposed to happen, isn't it?
Oh, it better happen.
It's
because the end of Conduit 2 is the best thing
They're not going to make good on that. Like,
they better. I've never
Here's the thing. Conduit 2 looked so bad. Like, I just mean, like, visually it looked so bad. I didn't even understand that at the end of... For anyone who doesn't know, everyone... Like, you can just see it on YouTube. At the end of Conduit 2, it has this surprise ending where, like, planets align and signals are sent through space or something, and it opens a giant vault, and then George Washington and Abraham Lincoln walk out wearing space armor, and they're like, we're here to help or something, and then it's like,
boom,
cut to black, credits. But like, it looked so bad, I didn't even recognize it as George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Like,
see,
two of the most stereotypical, like we all, even if it has nothing to do with what they actually looked like in real life, everyone knows, like, the sort of cartoon image of them.
Listen, Kyle.
I had no idea what it was. I was like, I don't know, it's a guy who walked out and said, we're here to help. What's going on?
Fucking Halo 4 could be like a Civil War reenactment for all I fucking care. I want the promise of Conduit 3. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Mario could get a gun. I don't give a shit. I want Conduit 3. I want it to be exactly... I want to play as Mecha Abraham
But, like,
Lincoln.
here's the thing. The video that you can see it on, they show the final boss before the end cutscene.
Yeah?
The final boss looked like the worst thing I had ever seen. It was like...
Is it Robert E. Lee?
No, it was nothing even remotely interesting. Not even in a funny way. It was just like the most bland, uninteresting. It looked like an N64 first-person shooter. Like, it looked like the kind of gameplay that would have been acceptable on the N64.
But see, Kyle, that's not fair because what you're putting that into a vacuum and not looking at the fact that right after that,
I know.
They came out with Mecha Future.
No, I see what you're saying. I'm just trying to put it in context. I'm trying to temper your expectations.
That's like saying the Dark Knight, like the end of the Dark Knight was like not the best, but the first hour and a half,
the thing is, though, even though everyone in the world's excited for Conduit 3, no one in the world wants to buy Conduit 3.
No, I want to YouTube that entire game.
Exactly.
It's gonna be so good. I don't know where to go from there. That was my favorite part of E3 was Conduit 3. The breathtaking announcement.
Wait, did it get announced?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't get me excited. They actually took up stage time at the Nintendo conference for Batman Arkham City Wii U edition. They were like, check out this game everyone in the world has already played before. Now you can control the Batarang by tilting the Wii gamepad.
Good.
Because before it was an analog stick, now you tilt.
Will we get a Batarang view from the Wii gamepad?
Yeah, yes.
I hope so.
I'm sure. You would have to, right?
Great, yeah. They'll throw one new gadget in there that uses that thing. Maybe. That was almost as impressive as when Microsoft announced the Call of Duty game would be coming out for Xbox 360 next year.
Yeah, that was incredible.
What a fucking winner.
Yeah. Man, that was... Yeah, I don't know.
I'm excited for that glass thing. What's that thing?
Smart glass?
Yeah, I like that. What, you don't dig it?
I don't know. Like,
I think it's kind of a cool way to dig it.
They didn't have enough to show off, though.
Yeah.
Like, it was all theoretical shit.
Yeah.
Like, remember when they didn't have anything to show off for Kinect, and they showed you theoretical stuff, and it looked awesome?
Yeah.
Remember when that happened?
Remember Kinect? Oh.
Like, all the stuff that they showed, like...
Did they show any Kinect stuff, really?
I think so. Probably.
Yeah.
They must have.
I don't really know.
I don't know. Like, there were I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Great. You losing steam? You need a break?
It's been so long. I don't really remember that much about the press conference, but I remember. See, I don't remember what I was going to talk about 2 seconds ago.
No, I know.
Oh, man.
I can see that. Well, Kyle just finished his coffee. Do you literally need like an IV of caffeine to keep going? You can get a refill on that sucker.
I might be overloaded at this point. That might
Is
be the
what's
problem.
happening?
Yeah.
So it's like a pileup, like in
in the Watch Dogs. We didn't even finish talking about Watch
We didn't.
Dogs.
We totally got sidetracked.
Oh my god.
Well, let's finish up Microsoft and then go to Ubi.
Microsoft. Nothing.
I mean, they had Usher.
They had Usher. Like, I tweeted this. I was like, I'm disappointed when like I'm genuinely excited to see Usher perform. Like, they were like Usher. I was like, oh yes, great, a professional who's good at what he does.
Yeah.
Coming on to like. God. That was actually the best part of the conference was Usher.
Maybe this other people know about this. I didn't. I thought that their best surprise at Microsoft's press conference was that Usher still has a career.
Oh, that's harsh on Usher. That's
sorry.
Poor Usher. He gets paid so much.
I had loaded that one into the barrel like 30 seconds ago.
I gotcha.
No, I really, honestly though, Usher, man. I haven't heard from him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's still out there making it happen.
All I'm saying is he doesn't call me anymore.
Right. Usher, where you at, dog?
Yeah, dude.
Get back to us.
Where are those letters? You have such beautiful cursive. His wives are magical.
There was the surprise, like.
You just don't want to talk about Smart Glass? Is that we're not?
Oh, Smart Glass. I don't know. It was just like.
I was kind of excited by that.
It's a nice idea. It's like, hey, you have like functionality between any kind of smart device that you own, and it's not Windows Mobile because they understand that people don't have those, which is nice.
Yeah,
but it's just one of those. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, like if that could be cool. Like, I don't find anything to be excited about there. Like, it still depends on anybody making good use of it.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I don't know. I kind of like the fuck you, Nintendo. We get screens.
Oh, yeah,
We get screens all over the place. We get any screen. You got a screen in your lap? Put it on a TV.
Yeah, totally. Like, the Wii U is fucking... Hey, guys, real talk. The Wii U is fucking stupid.
It just seems smarter, man.
Like, could we just... Hold on. Could everyone in the world, for 2 seconds, stop pretending like the Wii U could be good? Because it's not gonna be.
And you're already ready to saddle up.
Real talk! The Wii U is fucking dumb.
Whoa. This is a sophisticated commentary.
Everyone, like...
you bring to the internet. Fuck you if you like it. Fuck the Wii U.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, listen... I know we like to be... I know we like to temper our reactions. And, like... it's always good to take a wait-and-see approach. But it's really like, what we're waiting for to see is the Wii U be a terrible fucking system that you should never buy unless you really like Pikmin 3 or Super Mario Brothers, right? That's what we're waiting for to see.
Listen, Nintendo, don't put Kyle in a fucking box. Because that's what you've done here. He loves Pikmin. You're forcing his hand.
Yeah,
he hates
exactly.
you for it.
Like,
I do love Pikmin. I do not love Pikmin enough to buy that fucking thing, though.
And it was weird. Like, they actually had a live stream thing, like a pre-recorded Nintendo live stream the night before, where they had Iwata talking about, like, basically talking about the gamepad and about the Miiverse or the Mii universe.
Oh, yeah, Nintendo's gonna have, like, an Xbox Live...
Well, no, it's gonna be like, you know the Mii Plaza, right? Where all your Miis show up?
Yeah, they chill.
It's sort of like, they're kind of combining that with the main menu. So, like, on the main menu, they're gonna have all these icons for, like, the games that are on your system.
Yeah.
And then, like, Miis are gonna crowd around those things to kind of show, like, who's playing it? Like, who's playing, like, from your friends list? And then, I think it's gonna be, like, your friends list, and then your friends list, and then maybe one other level of abstraction, and it's like all those Miis are gonna make up what you're playing.
Yeah.
And this was something I tweeted, and no one retweeted it. So apparently I am the only one who appreciates this.
Okay.
But I just kind of had the thought of like, well, what happens if you have like some games that you really like, but nobody else really likes? So is there just not going to be anyone there? And then I kind of thought, what happens like 3 years after the Wii U comes out when no one's playing the Wii U anymore? Yeah. And I tweeted like 2 years after we launched, like Mii main square becomes like total ghost town where there's nothing but like tumbleweeds and like the hollow sound of wind blowing.
So sad.
I just imagine you just turn on your Wii and they actually have like coded in the system, like on the hardware somewhere, there's like a setting for like once no one's there anymore.
Yeah.
It, instead of having like the nice ambient music, it just has.
Don't they? The thing that I love about this is that it's like, weren't you around when Sony and Microsoft tried to make what should be a simple list into some weird visual fucking thing? And like now with like home, that's kind of what a home is, and then
right
with Xbox when they kind of did a real push on those avatars, and then they kind of walked it back a little bit.
The Xbox dashboard is so bad.
It's like not great.
I used to like it more than the cross media bar on PS3. The cross media bar is now, by comparison, the greatest thing ever, because when I turn it on, there's just like a list of all the games that I have, and they're just there. It's like, I know it seems weird, but it's like it's called the cross media bar. The XMB,
no, you got it.
the XMB is actually the best for the fact that, and I know it's weird to say this, they're not intentionally trying to hide the things that I want to get at.
Yeah. It's
What?
nuts. Why is the game tab like 4 over, man? Why?
And it's so confusing now, like when you actually like, not only is it hard to find your games, it's hard to find where to buy more games. And once you even get into the game marketplace, it's hard to find the games that you want to buy in the market. Like, I don't know, there's no more tab for like going to like, here's arcade games, or like here's on-demand games. Now it's just like, games. And it's just like a big list of like every game on the Xbox.
That's so weird. It's like what do you mean?
It's ridiculous.
There's no way to like sort it really easily.
Terrible.
It's bad. I mean, I like the UI kind of stuff, just the basic like I like the way the shapes, I like the colors.
It's like you know what? I think the same thing about the new dashboard that I do about like Microsoft press conference. Like I feel like it's all indicative of how I feel about Microsoft right now, where it's like they don't care about what you want. They care about what they want you to want.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, games. Okay, whatever. We're just going to put this over here. And, you know, why don't you take a look around at some of the other stuff we have on offer? And, like, if you really don't want it, you got these games over here.
Yeah,
I don't know.
All over at the end, though.
Like, it feels like a exit through the gift shop, man. Not the actual movie, but the idea of, like,
I don't know
wait.
that.
Of like, well, it's like at like museums and shit. Like they'll make you walk through the gift shop to get out. It's kind of like that. It's like they put the games that you want like way in the back, so you have to walk past their fucking like movies and their music and all their dumb bullshit.
That's what that movie's title's about.
Totally.
Didn't know it. Didn't know what I didn't know.
Now you know.
That's nuts.
And knowing is half the battle.
Knowledge.
Yeah. So, but you know what? Remember before E3, I was talking about apathy in games right now?
Yeah.
Dude, totally. Like, I was looking on GameFAQs front page, you know, they have the poll of the day.
No.
Okay, well.
Now I do.
Well, it's been going on for like a decade.
Yeah. Okay.
Where every day there's a new user poll on the front page of GameFAQs.
Yeah.
And this one was like, who won E3, like in quotes, and it was like, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, or third parties, or nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody was in the lead.
Nobody?
Like, yeah.
Although I do, in fairness...
nobody followed by third parties.
I do hate that. I do hate the who won E3.
Yeah,
I used to. The thing is, I used to be more into contrived games journalism,
right?
But I really like come out against it recently. Like I saw there's this article on IGN that was like next gen titles, and basically, literally, this was it. It was Watch Dogs. It was Destiny, which we know nothing about.
Destiny?
It was Bungie's thing.
Oh.
They're like,
Project
it's
Destiny.
codenamed Destiny. They're making a game.
Oh, right. That
And
thing
then-
that we only know about because of stuff that came out in a court case.
Precisely.
Right, okay.
And then at the very end, it just was like, Call of Duty 2013. Great. Thanks, IGN. Thanks for this.
Oh my God.
Thanks for wasting my
What about,
the little energy it takes to click on
what
this
about...
article.
There's another one.
I think they did like something dumb, something like
There-
Madden or something. Just super obvious.
No, wait. There's... Okay, real next-gen titles... Oh, Star Wars 1313.
They did
Right.
write about
Okay.
that. Which I didn't know anything about. Do you know about that?
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah?
It looks amazing, actually.
Okay, what's the deal? I mean, Force Unleashed looked amazing.
No. I mean, visually, it's like stunning to
Oh,
look
okay.
at.
All right.
Like Brad Shoemaker was saying, like it's the best game he's ever seen, and then he kind of trailed off, and he's like, full stop, like just best game I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Or best looking graphically. It's actually kind of it's a nice idea. They're kind of, since they're making it for these next gen platforms and it's going to be like early adopters, they're kind of targeting it, more at like core gamer audiences.
You're grumpy.
I hate that it's like that we have all these terms that are so awful, like core and hardcore and stuff, and it's like they're such bad terms, but we don't really have any other words for them.
We got nothing.
Yeah, but so it's actually kind of an interesting idea. It kind of delves into the sort of space that's primarily like extended universe stuff, where I guess like Coruscant, Coruscant.
Yeah.
It's got like different layers of the city.
Good guy.
Okay.
Sorry.
He's still alive.
I'm corny today.
Coruscant, I guess the idea is it has different layers of the city. Like it's the whole, like the city is just like built up so far.
Yeah.
That like, on the very top it's like all the richest, nicest stuff, and then like the farther down you go, the worse it gets. And so like
in a world where sunlight is a commodity.
yeah.
So
level 1313, which is like 1,000 levels down, is like the sort of like the seedy underbelly of like the organized crime of Coruscant.
Yeah.
So the idea is like you're like a bounty hunter who goes there to do something. We don't really know that much, but
and you become a Jedi?
that's the thing. No Jedi in this game. Thank God.
What?
No Jedi.
Whoa.
We can have Star Wars without Jedi. We used to do it all the time. I know it's hard for people to remember now. There used to be a lot of Star Wars games without Jedis.
Back up. When?
Like before Jedi Outcast 2.
Name one game
Or
that
one.
had a Star Wars game without a
Star
Jedi.
Wars TIE Fighter.
Name 2 games.
Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
That's fine. 2 games. It's nothing.
Star
man.
Wars Rogue Squadron. Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2.
That doesn't count.
I don't think Rogue Squadron 3 was without Jedi.
Oh,
Star Wars Dark Forces.
God damn it.
There's kind of like this slow decline of like LucasArts. Like first LucasArts made all kinds of games, and then they sort of figured out like, oh, actually the Star Wars ones sell like inordinately better than all the other games, so let's just make Star Wars games. And then they slowly realized like, oh wait, if we put lightsabers in the game, they sell even better. So it's like now only Star Wars games with lightsabers.
Hey, if anyone's listening to this who writes about games, I would read a 8-page article about what happened to LucasArts.
I think there's a lot of those out there.
There are?
I think
Okay.
so.
I love that shit. I love that retrospective shit where it's just like kind of
what
this
happened to X company.
slow decline.
Yeah.
I read one on 38 Studios.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Which
I
is
didn't
still
read
in
it.
progress, but it's like kind of at the end there. It's like, what the fuck? What were they think?
Yeah,
That was awful. Why did you do that?
I don't know.
I hate that. Kyle just coffee.
The one on 38 Studios, I meant to read it and then I didn't.
Yeah.
That's basically every article I've ever seen. I meant to read it and then I didn't.
Basically, like they thought they could make a game.
Well, that's-
and they couldn't. It basically boils down to
I mean, I haven't read a lot of it. I know that there's sort of... The 38 Studios thing is multi-layered. There's a bunch of stuff going on there with the Rhode Island governor and the change of governor and all this stuff. But, I mean, basically the idea of, like, sort of riding the line between bankruptcy and success, of, like, trying to hold out until you can get a game out and hope that the game sells to make money so you can make more games. Isn't that kind of like every game developer?
I guess so. I don't know. They super went into the bankrupt direction.
I guess it was different for them because they were making an MMO without private funding, which is insane.
Yeah.
But I kind of hope that this sort of thing at least sheds light on other game studios. I mean, like...
It's also just kind of weird and desperate. Like, they literally bought big huge
games, yeah.
because they had to release a game to make money for them to... You know what I mean? Like, it seems like this weird, like, how in the world is, like, buying that studio, how does that make sense, you know? Because you're spending money to then sell a game. I don't know.
Like, it was a lot riskier for them because they didn't really have money.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure studios actually do that, like, all the time. Mm-hmm. I think. I'm pretty sure, like... I mean, not...
I've never seen...
that crazy, or like, we have no money, so we're going to buy an entire studio to hope they make a game to get us money. That's a little crazy.
I've never seen a studio that has never released a game buy another studio before. That has.
That's
you know what I mean?
A good point.
That was the weird thing about that.
You're right.
For me. I don't know.
What did Ion Storm do?
I don't know.
Something about
They
it.
might have did something.
I think Ion Storm was like another one of those, like,
Didn't they merge with some? I don't know.
Ion Storm was like George. Wait a second. John Romero, not George Romero.
George Takei.
That doesn't help.
I'm sorry. I just think George Takei always makes things
Listen,
better.
one guy made Doom,
Yeah.
and one guy made Dawn of the Dead.
And one
Which
guy
one is which?
is a gay Star Trek.
No, we're not talking about George Takei.
He's got a great voice.
John Romero, right? He's
Yeah.
Doom, video games. He's the guy with the long hair and he's weird.
Sidebar.
His head was on a stake at the end of Dune 2, right?
My mark for success for this podcast in anything we ever do
Is if you can talk about George Takei.
No, it's to
That's
get
not
George Takei on the show and have him say
You
words.
do it all the time.
What?
You always mention George Takei, right?
I?
I'm not imagining that.
No,
You
I
do
don't
it all the
think I
time,
do.
don't you?
Readers, go back and listen to all our shows and send us all the instances, time signatures.
Anyways,
He made Doom. Yeah.
John Romero made Doom, and I think I probably should have read up on this before talking about it. But I think it's one of those things he had like a lot of, I think he clashed with a lot of publishers and that kind of stuff, so he was kind of like, fuck you guys, we're gonna go make our own studio, it's gonna be fucking rad, there's gonna be beanbag chairs and pinball tables, and we're gonna play foosball all day, and only make games when we feel like it, and those games are gonna be fucking awesome. And
he was this weird, sad party animal.
something like that. Like, so they made Ion Storm, which, you know, that was always the big story. It's like, hey man, it's like developers running their own studio and we're doing things the way we want to do it. And like, I think first he put out Daikatana, which was this game that he had really built up, and it's like famously one of the worst games ever.
Yeah.
And they did put out the original Deus Ex, which obviously is a huge
Which
hit.
was Warren Spector.
Which was Warren Spector, right?
He, like,
that
was
was not
with them.
not John Romero.
No. John Romero was wasn't he kind of out of he was more political, wasn't he?
What?
It's more of like a figurehead kind of guy. He didn't really.
He made Daikatana.
Okay.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Ion Storm. Sorry, I don't mean to relate them to 38 Studios like that, because it's not the same at all.
No.
But I do think Ion Storm was another one of those studios that kind of crashed famously.
Yeah. Speaking of which, what happened to Warren Spector? What's he up to?
He's making Epic Mickey 2.
Oh, good.
Dog.
All right.
He's making Cyberpunk Epic Mickey.
It's about time.
No, like, I think he might have made the first one. If he did, I didn't hear about it. He did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But in the second one, he's actually adding, like, moral choices or, like, moral decisions or something like that. Like,
Weird.
I think it was something like he was thinking about doing it in Epic Mickey 1, but he thought it would be, like, too involved for, like, a kid's game.
Yeah.
But then he said a lot of the feedback that he got was, like, that people wanted more of that.
Mm-hmm.
So in this one, there's, like, a lot more stuff. Because, like...
So is it like, Mickey, should I kill my child so the Nazis don't find us, or should I?
Yeah, I think I got nothing for that.
Sophie's Choice?
But that's pretty good.
Anyone?
No, I know what you're talking about.
I just don't. That's the thing, though. Like, seriously, like, tonally, what kind of hard, really, like, fucking intense moral choices?
I thought you were going to be like, no, seriously, that's the thing. Like, if you had to only save one of your children, like, that's like a fucking really hard choice, right?
Kyle, sidebar. You have a baby. He's about
Well,
to
here's
cry.
the thing. The Epic Mickey thing is always like you have paint and thinner, so
Yeah.
and the thinner gets rid of the paint and something.
I
So
get
it's
that.
something with that. It's sort of like, do you want to erase things or paint new things?
I always want to paint things.
I don't know.
I want to build.
Epic Mickey 1 wasn't really that well received, so I didn't really pay attention to Epic Mickey 2.
Yeah. I
Gonna be
hear it
honest.
was one of those weird ones, though, where it was, like, really good in some respects, and then in some ways just shitty. You know, just, like, huge parts of that game weren't paid attention to, but the parts that were, like, real cool. That's what I remember thinking about when I read things about that.
Okay.
Informed.
I remember
stewed
watching,
upon.
I think I watched it for like 45 minutes on Giant Bomb,
Yeah.
and I thought it didn't look fun. That's
So-
mostly what I remember.
Epic Mickey 1, E3, coming out.
2.
Yep,
2.
that's what I meant.
You said 1.
I know. I don't know where I was going.
Oh,
with that.
I meant to...
How do we get
A
here?
million years ago,
Yeah.
I was going to say that there was the surprise announcement of Splinter Cell Blacklist,
Yeah.
which I just thought the reveal was cool because it was kind of like... It just looked like generic Middle Eastern setting, and we didn't really know what it was. It was just like, what's this fucking game? Like Black Ops 2, something. But then, like, in the middle of the cutscene, the marks appeared over people's head from, like, the mark and execute thing, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, shit, it's Splinter Cell! This is Sam Fisher! That's so cool! But that was basically the most I got excited for that game.
I'm so down on like what Ubisoft has done with Splinter Cell. I don't know why. Like, I'm totally like.
Wait, you mean for Blacklist or you mean for Conviction?
Just the franchise since like
Really?
Xbox 360, because they ended the last generation with what was it, triple agent, something?
Double Agent.
No. That was kind of the weird middle one.
That was Double Agent was on 360 and PS2 Xbox,
Yeah.
but the PS2 Xbox one was a completely different game, which I hear was actually really good.
What was the last one before that?
Conviction.
No.
Oh.
Before Double Agent.
Right. They had Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow, Chaos Theory.
Chaos Theory was one of my favorite games.
That's what I hear. I hear that the 360 version of Double Agent was bad.
Yeah.
But the PS2 Xbox version was kind of like Chaos Theory 2. That's
Okay.
what I've heard.
Which would be awesome.
So
Like,
if you haven't played it, you could play it now.
I never played. Yes, I could, I guess. But the thing is,
Do
like,
it. Play
that
it.
game.
Andy, you should play it.
Fucking let me finish my
Just play
thought.
it. Come on.
You're
Andy,
I hate you.
Andy, you haven't played it. It sounds like you want to play it. You should play it.
Poke the bear, Kyle. The fucking bear. No, it's so like it ended on such a fucking awesome note,
Right.
And then with like kind of the stumbling with Double Agent for the 360 at least,
Right, and
like,
then there was 4 years until Conviction
yeah,
came out.
It's like, what are you doing, Ubi? I mean, they got super into Assassin's Creed because it made them tons of money, I guess.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
know. It's just kind of a downer. It's like
But-
that was one of my favorite franchises. And then Conviction came out and it was good, but it was like kind of different.
It was good and it was different, but I at least liked the idea of like having Sam Fisher be his own man and stuff. Like they
Yeah.
kind of had that, and like that was the idea that they sold, was like he's working for himself. But then 2 minutes into the game, you're not working for yourself.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the game, it's like this time he's actually working for himself and he's like fucking on the run. Like
Yeah.
it was basically like at the end of Conviction, they set up a scenario that was supposed to be the setup for Conviction
Yeah.
that they totally didn't do.
And it's like, by the way, the premise for all of Sam's motivation, yeah, it's fine.
yeah, but
You
then
know?
Splinter Cell Blacklist totally ignores everything in Conviction,
Yeah.
like doesn't even do anything with it, and now it's just totally
It seems
and not. They don't have Michael Ironside voice. What?
I don't want to talk about it.
I know, right?
It upsets me.
Listen,
This is to me what like
and there's no
all of
Razor
Nintendo
Callahan.
is to you.
Well,
There's no who? What was that last
no
one?
Razor Callahan.
Who's that?
He was from Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Oh.
He was the top member of the Blacklist that you had to take down.
Okay.
Because the new one's called Blacklist.
No, yeah,
and
I get it.
there was the Blacklist in
Oh,
Need for Speed
it was
Most
a
Wanted.
cross game reference.
Yes,
Okay. That I feel like that did need some
but also on that same note, the new Need for Speed Most Wanted also doesn't have Razor Callahan. Why is it called Most Wanted? Fucking no. Listen, Need for Speed Most Wanted, it's being made by Criterion, and they're amazing, and that game looks amazing.
Is it?
Where the fuck
love Criterion.
is Razor Callahan?
For the first time,
Like, just get him. Everyone wants him. Just put him in the fucking game. Like, I don't know how hard this is for people, why they can't do it. That guy is like a D-list actor. Like, he could not possibly cost anything. And the writing doesn't have to be good because the whole point was that the writing was bad. Like, there is so little. The bar for this is so low. Why can they not just get Razor Callahan? I'm sorry I'm so upset, but I really liked Razor Callahan.
I can see that. I think for the first
But what if
time,
they got Razor Callahan, instead of making it be silly, what if they actually made him cool? That would be almost even better if they somehow made it awesome.
just sank resources into Razor Callahan? Fucking, we're doubling down on our
Listen,
Razor
there's
Callahan.
nobody that played Need for Speed Most Wanted that didn't love Razor Callahan.
Thank you for joining us on the Kyle Rantcast. This is episode
But
1.
I'm serious about this, you guys.
I know.
God
that
damn
is
it.
the first time I asked a question about a reference you made, and I didn't feel bad after you said the answer. Because there's no way I ever would have gotten
Oh,
the
yeah,
Razor
yeah.
Callahan connection.
That I knew you weren't gonna get it, but
Yeah.
that was just more for people that would get it.
I know, but usually you say you know I'm not going to get it, and you kind of really
Oh, I
feel
see.
should get it,
Okay,
which I should usually.
got it. Glad we got to the bottom of that one.
Fuck you.
Splinter Cell Conviction. It's fucking. He's in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Which, God. That is the least interesting setting, officially, now.
Yeah.
Like it has been for years. What?
World War II. Can we go back to World War II? Can we
Middle
put
East
Sam Fisher
Middle
in
East
World
is
War
the new
II?
World War II.
Yeah.
What? I would. You know what would have been great?
What?
If you played as Sam Fisher's great great grandpa,
Gerald Fisher,
and he was sneaking around on the beaches of Normandy.
Old Jerry Fisher. You don't know him?
What if they did that though? What if there was a Splinter Cell game set in World War II?
That would be nuts. I mean, the thing about like Splinter Cell, it's a little too. It's become a lot of like Jack Bauer stealthy Jack Bauer.
Well, that's what Conviction was, right?
Yeah.
But they're kind of going back.
But I feel like it's kind of that again. I'm not excited because it's
now,
like...
he took down Third Echelon, Fourth Echelon.
Yeah, whatever.
Like, he was always with Third Echelon, then in Conviction, it was like he took down Third Echelon.
Yeah.
This was like, oh shit, they're going... like...
Which, if you've watched 24, is the inevitable story arc of any given badass.
Wait, did he do that?
Yeah.
In 24?
He takes down CTU.
Oh.
Like, CTU's like fucked and...
Oh, so Conviction really was like Splinter Cell 24.
Very much. And then, then kind of see... And then exactly
Did Jack Bauer ever beat the shit out of a woman that had been giving him orders for a long time?
Oh, God.
Because that was my favorite part of Conviction.
I'm sure he's done something like that. But then the thing is, CTU is remade just like in this Splinter Cell. It's like CTU's remade. It's this new thing.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe it's because in Canada they get the television later. Like they're just hitting on that like 7th season 24 that we got like 2 years ago.
Oh man.
I don't know.
And they did say Spies vs. Mercs is going to be back,
which I love.
Which people love.
I love.
I haven't played it, so I don't know.
I was hardcore.
I tried to play it on the very last night that Xbox Live Original was going to be up, but like they make you go through a tutorial before you can get on, and I was like, well, this isn't going to happen. Yeah.
I spent probably more time. Probably Halo 2 surpassed it, but that was my second most played game.
Did you do like the co-op stuff in Conviction with Archer and Kestrel?
No.
Because that stuff was a lot of fun.
I played a little bit of it.
It was cool. It was like co-op, but you were also competing. It was really interesting.
Did I buy that game?
Totally did. You did? Yeah, totally.
No, I didn't. Because
you looked so confused. Yeah, you did.
I didn't.
You sold it before you beat it, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
By the way, Splinter Cell Conviction came with passes into the Ghost Recon Future Soldier beta.
Great.
And that was
that game
that was 2.5 years ago. It already came out. It just came out.
Is it good?
It sounds like it was actually good.
Okay.
Or it was pretty good.
Well, it sounds like they remade it enough times that they have to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of just law of probability. They'll make a good game eventually.
I just don't know what to think. I mean, I didn't love Conviction, but I liked a lot of the ideas that were going on there, and then Blacklist seems to ignore all of those ideas, and somehow, Conviction...
It does the mark and execute.
Conviction was at least different from other Splinter Cell games in like a kind of cool way, and this kind of looks like exactly like the other Splinter Cell games, but
seems like Double Agent again.
They should have just rebooted it. They should have just called it, they should have just done what everyone else is doing and just called the game Splinter Cell. Right? Like
perfect.
Or
they could really fuck with us and call it Splinter Cell 1.
Splinter Cell 1? They should have called it The Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell.
That would have been great.
And then the sequel could be Splinter Cells.
And all the stuff that they showed of it is all during the day. I don't know about you. I don't want to play Splinter Cell during the day.
I'm
That's
missing
not
like a cool stealth game, man.
Yeah,
that's all
right.
I want.
Like where the stealth at?
Yo, Metal Gear's kind of gone off and done this weird, and I'm not gonna play.
You know what I am excited for though? Fucking Hitman Absolution. That's a stealth game that should be awesome. I'm actually still just now playing Hitman Blood Money. Did you ever play that game?
I did.
It's so good.
My friend Adam Biskowski, our mutual friend, fucking loved that game.
Yeah, dude. And there's Rebel FM did a game club of it years ago.
What's that?
So it's when they would have everyone play a certain section of a game, then do a podcast about it, then play the next section, then do a podcast about that.
Okay.
And I kind of skipped over it because I had heard that it wasn't good or Oh, you know what it was? I tried the demo for Blood Money, and the very first thing that you have to do is take a coin and throw the coin to distract some guards. And I couldn't figure out how to do it because on the 360 version, you throw your coin by clicking in the left stick.
Of course.
And then aiming it somewhere and letting go of the left stick button.
Yeah.
And I literally couldn't figure out what button threw the coin.
That's silly because everyone knows that on the Xbox controller, the coin release is
clicking in the left stick.
Yeah,
right.
It's kind of like the right trigger shoot.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Left stick, throw coin, right trigger shoot. This is rote.
Yeah,
I should have. That's on me.
That was Halo. That was
That's
part
on
of the Halo scheme.
Right? Yeah.
When you're fucking gambling away.
Oh no! You know what the problem is?
Yeah.
Left stick is only throw coin when you're playing on boxer configuration, and I don't do boxer. That was the problem.
Were you on duty calls?
I play southpaw.
Okay.
That's the problem.
That's enough of this.
Okay, great.
Do you still have Conviction?
No, I sold that also. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to go rent it.
I was gonna say it's on Steam, but you don't have a PC.
Nope. Not a good one.
Man, Hitman's really cool though. It's a lot. It's great.
Hitman, I've always had like a guilty pleasure for Hitman.
Yeah.
It's always been kind of cool in a weird way.
I had always heard that like at least Hitman Blood Money had a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Like almost the fact that Rebel FM did a game club of it almost scared me away from it because they usually only do games that are like special games but that are like heavily flawed in some way.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't want to have to deal with
special in the way that like people are special.
And yeah, exactly. No, but they do a lot of stuff where it's like games that might be underappreciated because they do a lot of cool things, but like the execution is kind of bad. But like Hitman is pretty much great at Blood Money at least. I don't know about the other ones.
Yeah, Hitman's never. I mean, I've never really played like a fucking terrible dud. It's at least like fun, like kind of craziness.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how some people would like. I mean, the game is basically, it's made around the idea of saving and reloading.
Yeah.
Because they limit your saves. Like they give you you have 7 saves to complete this mission. So, but you have unlimited loads, so you kind of keep reloading every time you screw up until you can get it perfect. And I can see how some people would be annoyed with that, but I don't know. It's like once you make it a game mechanic, I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, and Hitman's not. I mean, it's kind of a shooting gallery sometimes. Like that's just how it goes in that game.
What? Fuck no. I'm not gonna do that.
Sometimes.
Well, I found what it was is that some of the levels were really tough where I would commit to like doing it really well. Like I'm not gonna fire a single bullet. I'm gonna do this all totally right.
Yeah.
Like one of the levels, like the suburban level where you're going on this like rich cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Like I spent like 4 hours on it until I could finally get it, and I finally got it. But what that meant was that I moved on to the next level, and I was so worn out from trying to do the last level perfectly that on the Mardi Gras mission, I was just like, fuck it. This is like guns blazing. Like, in that one you had to steal like a briefcase of diamonds and shit.
Yeah.
And it just looked like a movie. I'm just like running down the street with a briefcase in my hand, just like whipping out this like machine gun and just like wasting everyone that got in my way.
One-handed machine gun classic.
And you were fighting a gang full of people dressed as in bird suits in that level, and every time you shot them, like feathers popped out of them. So it just made it so much more satisfying. I'm just like, every time I turn a corner and there's birds, I'm just pulling the trigger.
Precursor to Grunt Birthday Party.
Grunt. That's exactly it.
Which, by the way, we've been saving this one for last. Or
What?
at least I have in my
What?
head. Halo 4, man.
Oh, just in general. I thought you were gonna say something about Grunt Birthday Party.
No, we haven't spoken a word about Halo 4.
Yeah, it looks cool.
You got nothing for me?
Here's the only thing that gives me pause.
Oh,
I'll
God.
say it before we say anything else, so you just get the apprehension out beforehand. I might have misheard this.
Yeah.
But you know how the mission starts with, like, you see Covenant?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Covenant are there. But then it was like, oh, psych. Like, not the Covenant aren't the real enemy that you're fighting in this level. It's these new things.
Yeah,
Whatever they're called.
Forerunner AI.
Yes, those things. I heard someone say that mission is a third of the way through the campaign. So if for the first third of the game I'm still fighting Covenant, that sounds kind of shitty.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great.
But I might have misheard that. It might have been.
I'm okay fighting Covenant. Also, there's like two-thirds of that game.
I'm not fighting Covenant ever again.
Okay.
I'm never doing that.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
so done with that.
Don't put Kyle in a box, Spongy.
Don't. No one puts Kyle in a corner.
Not Bungie. 343.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Folly. That was folly.
Yeah. I was kind of unsure how Halo 4 would go because it was kind of like, is it gonna suck because it's not Bungie?
Yeah.
Or is it gonna be actually better than Halo Reach because now you have the idea of 343 was specifically a studio made up of people that really liked Halo.
Yeah.
So it was kind of
a lot of them had worked on Halo.
Yeah, so it was like people from Bungie who still wanted to work on Halo and then new people that really wanted to work on Halo. It's like that, you have this like concentrated group of people that all really like Halo. It could make something really awesome.
Yeah.
So it at least sounds like they're making the story more about Forerunners and more about like Cortana and Master Chief and stuff,
And
which is the stuff that always interested me the most.
I mean, it seems cool to me. Like, I was super excited because kind of the promise of 3 that I was really, and a lot of people fucking, I liked 3 a lot. I thought it was good.
3's awesome.
I'm not as pumped like on 3 as like a lot of people. I mean, it's
Wait, really?
Yeah.
You don't wait. So you don't like 3?
No, I do like 3.
But you don't like it as much as other Halo
games? It's a little tempered. I mean, I obviously like it more than 2.
Why don't you fuck off then? Have you considered that? Have you considered fucking off? You know, I like part of the reason I like Halo 3 so much more than the other ones is that was the first one that had online co-op.
Yeah.
So whereas like I played the Halo 2 campaign like once.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've played it twice since then, but like Halo 3, I played it like 100 times because I would always jump into other people's games and we would beat it again. And,
Halo 1 is still by far my favorite.
Yeah.
I think
you know what I was thinking?
Yeah.
We should do a video of us playing Halo Anniversary.
Play through?
Yeah, we should do that.
I will play through that entire game.
Let's
with you.
do it. Yeah.
You actually just found a way for me to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Normally, Kyle asks me to do these things.
This is the fucking perfect game for Andy to do. Halo Anniversary.
I will absolutely do that.
All right, let's do it.
I'll do it today.
You got the cash for that game, right? Listen,
we'll
hey,
get it
man,
used.
dude, Andy.
Yeah.
You got this one, right?
Don't
Are
worry
we
about it.
good? Have you
Yeah.
been listening to My Brother and Me still?
I haven't.
I've started listening to them again. They just did a live recording one at Max FunCon that was fucking awesome.
Yeah. All right.
So
I'll check it out.
there was some new running
I
joke
really
about
want to go to
are we
Max
good?
FunCon.
Yeah,
someday.
sounds awesome. You know what I heard? Like the latest one this year had like 200 people.
Yeah?
It's like that's so tiny.
It's
That's like
expensive.
is it?
Yeah.
Mm.
I think it is. It's like
Well, you can front me the cash, right?
Well, let's.
You
back
got
up
this,
here.
right? Are we
I
good?
got a whole lease situation that's blowing up, man. It's thing.
blowing up like in a bad way.
Oh, yeah,
Not like
I know.
blowing up like we're getting big over here. This shit's blowing up.
People are moving in.
People are moving out.
It's
People hate each other. What's going
horrible.
on?
I'll tell you about that later. That's not
Okay,
fun video
that's
game talk.
off mic talk.
Exactly. No, but Halo 3, the thing, I don't know, because I think at some time I tried to come on some podcast that we were talking to each other and give some bullshit about how, like, Halo 1 wasn't my favorite Halo. Totally is. Totally
Halo
is.
1 is?
Yeah, because I was really on, like, the extremism of my progressive kick where I was like, Reach is the best. Fucking.
Fuck Reach!
Fuck Reach, man.
I feel the only bad part that I feel bad about for my opinion on Reach was that if you listen back to our Reach spoiler cast that we did, it was like you guys really liked it and I really didn't. So it was just like 90 minutes of Kyle being really unhappy with
Which
like,
normally we don't record for that. We just have Kyle be
well,
like,
it was just because like spoiler casts are normally for people that liked the game because they
Yeah.
want to hear discussion of the story, but instead it was just like, you guys, this game is dumb.
Yeah.
And I felt bad about that, but I really didn't like Reach.
I mean, let me temper my fuck Reach. I think of Reach as like a side thing. I
Like-
very much think of it as like a side Halo game that I
Right.
don't really...
Yeah.
Like, almost more so than ODST. Like, I think...
I loved ODST.
I liked ODST too. I mean, it was... It's like-
ODST 2?
No.
They made that?
No, they didn't.
Oh,
Yeah, it's called Halo Reach. Have you played it?
Yeah, that was the thing. I felt like Halo, a lot of the stuff that was new, or like new in quotes in Halo 3, was all stuff that they hadn't reached. Like the thing was like, oh, we brought back health bars, like in the original Halo. It's like, you
Yeah.
did that in Reach. I mean,
mean-
you did that in ODST.
Yeah, they did good. I mean, I think mechanically speaking, Reach is
You're wrong.
Is a really good game.
You're wrong.
What are you saying?
Okay. It's a good game.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I thought you were going to say mechanically it's like the best, like it has the best mechanics of all the Halo games.
I think it's like clearly an evolution there. I mean, in terms of like kind of, I don't know, like
You
the
can't kill
wrapping.
people with a melee hit until they have no shield. This is bullshit.
this is folly. No, we're talking about this because
Sorry.
we want to talk about Halo 4.
Sorry.
My fucking original point, Jesus
Go
Christ.
ahead. Sorry.
that?
I'm so... Andy,
I know.
I'm genuinely sorry.
You feel bad and I see that and I hear you. By the way, just at Starbucks, when people when we do the bank deposit for the day, you have to get a witness. And so
Right.
whenever anyone at Starbucks asks me to be their witness, I'm like, I put my hand on their shoulder and I say, I see you. None of them like that joke. Only
I was going to say, like, they all hate that,
No,
right?
they hate it. They never laugh. I think, and I keep doing it because I appreciate it so much. But
Right.
anyway, the promise of
Those
Halo-
guys would be terrible at Hitman.
they would
Because the whole point is no witnesses. That's what you want.
Oh, there
That's
it
what you're
is.
going for.
Very good. It would be, yeah.
Listen to this. A guy was standing by a grave. I came up behind him, pushed.
Oh, this is fucking in Hitman.
I pushed-
Jesus Christ.
He was standing by a grave. I snuck up behind him, pushed him into the grave. He died on impact in a grave.
That's perfect.
Great.
What-
Sorry,
how
go
convenient. No, the promise of Halo 3 was that Cortana would go nuts, and it would be kind of really cool because
yeah.
it would be like, oh, Cortana's going nuts. Like, how are we gonna like? Do we have to fight her in some weird way? Like, well, how do we?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
combat
yeah.
that? And like, then she was absent the entire game,
And then kind of came back.
came back at the end, kind of normal,
Right.
and was like a little crazy, and was like, oh, thanks for saving.
Yeah,
me.
they definitely could have done better with the story. I loved the way the game ended, though.
Yeah, I did. I really liked the ending.
Wake me when you need me. It was
Wake
great.
me when
It was
you need
touching.
me. But then in this game, it actually sounds like Cortana will be like an actual antagonist, which I
Yeah.
think is so cool. Like, I love that idea because, like,
Wait, okay, first of
Yeah.
all, I think you're right. That's
Yeah.
totally cool. But I just want to say the Cortana model for Halo 4 looks terrible.
I haven't really gotten a
Have you
good
seen her? She has like a
screenshot.
weird bob and
Yeah.
her proportions are strange.
Weird,
She looked
yeah.
great in remember
She
Halo
should
3?
do more of a perm.
Remember Halo 3?
Yes.
She looked great in Halo 3.
looks sexy.
Right?
Cortana,
I'm
baby.
I'm mad about her terrible hair.
Yeah.
Her hair looks awful.
I'll look into it. I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Could you talk to 343 for me? Because I really don't like the way she looks.
No, definitely. I'll take care of it. I'm sure that stuff is all redoable.
Yeah.
But no, and so it looks, I like that. I'm a little hesitant about this whole thing where the trailer ends and it's like a new evil, like, and it sounds like it's this very, like, centralized, like, antagonist of being, like, one character. Because there's that voice at the end that says, like, something like, I've been waiting for this or some bullshit. And I was kind of like, well, I mean, it could be cool to have Master Chief fighting, like, kind of one thing. Like,
Yeah.
one enemy, one, like, mind kind of thing. Like, because I thought Gravemind was cool.
Gravemind was totally cool.
And it was kind of because of that. Because, like, you're fighting the Covenant most of the time. It's like, there's not, like, one force or leader, really. It's kind of just all these fucking guys you're
yeah.
shooting at.
And it was kind of interesting because, Gravemind was like out, the main conflict was like Covenant versus Master Chief.
Yeah.
And then, you had Gravemind and it was kind of like, ooh, how is this going to shake things up? But, like,
Yeah.
not really. It didn't. There were some missteps on the Halo 3. The Halo 3 story could have been a lot better.
Yeah, it could have
really
been.
could have been.
And so I'm hopeful. But I also don't want it to get into a thing of, like, a whole game, Master Chief's fighting against this weird alien thing.
Oh, you know what? They said it was going to be a trilogy.
They did
remember?
say that.
So,
So there'll be hooks and stuff.
yeah,
and,
okay.
I think it's cool.
I'm excited to see more Forerunner stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's books about it. Like, because I've been waiting all this time to, like, get back to, like, Master Chief and Forerunner and stuff. And I was going to say, I'm sure there's books about, like, here, like, I basically don't know anything about the Forerunners.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to read a fucking Halo book.
Yeah.
Like, if you want me to... That's always been my thing with Halo. It's like, the story's pretty cool, but if you want me to know about it, you should put it in a game.
Put it in the game that I'm playing that I found you. You know,
and
that's how I found
ki-
Halo.
I actually heard someone make that comment. It kind of sounds like they're actually trying to do that this time. Is like,
Yeah.
there's actually been some pretty cool stories in Halo, but they've all been outside the
Well,
game.
and that's the
mostly.
thing. Like, one of the big things about the first Halo book was that, like, it talks about AIs, what's the word, disintegrating or whatever, or like kind of falling apart after 7
Oh,
years.
so that's an actual thing.
That's in the book, and so I was like, oh, cool. They're actually going with like the shit.
Because I heard that in the trailer for Halo 4.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like total contrived bullshit. I'm
No.
like, I thought they were just making up a reason for Cortana to
Her
fall
to be
apart.
nuts, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, but now that I hear that, it's like,
Yeah,
all right.
that was
Okay.
the thing that was. It was kind of cool because that was like literally like 5-6 years ago. I mean, maybe even longer when that kind of was established.
okay,
Which is cool to have that in the universe. I like that.
that's interesting.
What else was interesting? Oh, Metroid Prime kind of look to it. Love Metroid Prime.
What?
Kinda
Oh
look.
yeah, you could
The
see like
Forerunner
the
stuff.
You could
very-
see. Oh,
and kind of the HUD too.
I was gonna say you could see at the corners of the screen you could see the edges of Master Chief's visor.
Yeah.
And that's totally straight out of Metroid Prime.
And the weapons are kind of like
Man,
Metroid Prime.
Metroid
looking.
Prime did that so well. Better
Yeah.
than like any other game I've ever played. Metroid Prime really felt like you were a person in a robot suit. That was pretty interesting.
I'm ready for another Metroid Prime. I only played bits and pieces of like 1, 2, and 3, but
1 and 2 were really good.
yeah, 3 was not.
3 was it was
Like, whatever.
okay. Yeah.
What's Retro doing right now?
They're working on a new unannounced Nintendo game.
Okay.
The last thing that they made was Donkey Kong Country Returns,
Which is good,
which was good,
but hard.
hard.
But
You're right.
good.
But it was good. But
Yeah.
it was really hard.
Yeah,
So they're saying I think there was
I think it was difficult.
it wasn't easy. Stop. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember because I
Yeah.
thought there was some hints of like they might be working on this. Oh, I think it was they might be working on a Star Fox, but I'm not sure if that was just wishful thinking. If someone was like,
Yeah.
you know, what would be cool if they made Star Fox,
I'm wishful.
or if there was actually.
That's actually how IGN gets all of its stories.
Wouldn't it be
Cool.
Oh, man, so much of IGN makes me so sad.
It really is. It's too
Yeah,
bad.
that place is disappointing.
Good thing we're never getting jobs there.
That's basically everyone who works at IGN was like, I really wanted to work at like 1UP or GameSpot or wherever, but IGN hired me, so that's okay.
And now 1UP is like the weird.
Oh yeah, not anymore.
subsidiary.
Not anymore.
Yeah, no. But
Has I almost feel like
I don't get that.
Every
They're
once in a
competing
while-
against each other directly.
what?
1UP and
Oh,
IGN.
1UP is owned by IGN.
Yeah.
Giant Bomb's owned by GameSpot. Technically,
Really?
They're both. Oh, you didn't know that? Did you
What?
not hear about any of this?
No.
Giant Bomb was bought by CBS Interactive, who also owns GameSpot. Giant Bomb actually moved back to the GameSpot offices. They work with GameSpot now.
Whoa.
How
when
that's-
did that happen?
Like a month ago.
Wait,
a month
so
or two.
Well, they're not part of Wizard Media?
Whiskey Media. I think
Whiskey.
the thing was Whiskey Media, hard times. They just didn't have the money to keep going, so they actually
Yeah.
got split up. So now, like, do you remember Tested?
Yeah.
They actually are now owned by whoever does like their new thing is they work with the Mythbusters people.
Okay.
Like if you know like Jamie and Adam from Mythbusters,
Yeah.
they're kind of like
They're
the public.
Discovery then.
You know what? They're not owned by Discovery, I don't think.
Okay.
Or maybe they are.
What kind of weird fucking
You know what?
web
Okay.
did I stumble into here?
I think they're owned by the same parent company of Discovery, but they're not officially like a Discovery site.
Okay.
But like they have a lot of they do. It's still mostly Will and Norm doing their thing that they do.
Yeah.
But now it's not as much tech reviews, and it's more just about like cool science and stuff. It's just like
The breakdown
general, like
stuff.
sort of like general cool nerd stuff that you might be interested in. Just like look at this, just like this new thing
Yeah.
that someone invented, or like look, check out this awesome robot or whatever.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
So do they actually work with the Mythbusters guys?
Sometimes, like, because they have their own thing they do. They do
Yeah.
Mythbusters and other stuff, so they're kind of busy. But like every once in a while, they'll get him on a video, and they see. Like, I learned that Adam Savage from Mythbusters is actually really cool and really smart.
He looks
And
cool. He seemed cool in the show.
There's a podcast that he's on with them where they talk to Adam Savage for like 90 minutes, and it's really awesome.
Yeah.
People should check that out. And I got
That's the
excited.
podcast?
They said they might do like it's called "This Is Only a Test."
Ah.
They said they might start like a new like monthly podcast with Adam or something,
I
which
wanna check
sounds
that
pretty
out.
interesting.
What Okay, so what do you do with your weird
Sorry.
Whiskey Media pass that you?
The premium
Yeah.
membership thing. So what they do is they still make premium content. So they're still doing that, and then everyone who had premium access got like a free voucher for GameSpot's premium service. That's called
Okay.
Total Access. So you kind of got that for free if you were a premium member for Giant Bomb.
All right.
Which I didn't even cash in because I
Did they
don't go
talk-
to GameSpot.
Did
But
they talk about it all, like how they feel about being part of that company again?
yeah, that's the thing. Like,
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure, like,
well, the thing was
they've
that
been
like,
pretty respectful and like not kind of delving back into that, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can only go by what they say and stuff. But I mean, I did learn about Jeff Gerstmann being fired from GameSpot like a while back,
Yeah.
and it sounds like he was fired by like some new executive that like he's not there anymore. Like they're
Yeah.
not even like all the people involved with him being fired like aren't there anymore anyways.
Yeah.
And actually now GameSpot is run by John Davison, who was at 1UP.
yeah, what
that
the
guy
fuck?
is
He
cool.
moves around too a lot.
It's the whole video games coverage thing is
what
pretty
was his
incestuous.
thing with he was the editor-in-chief at GamePro.
Oh yeah, he went.
Why did he leave? I mean, it sounded like that
Probably
was like he
'cause-
was fired or something.
I think GamePro might be gone now.
Is it?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think he might have been like the guy who came in to make GamePro comfortable as it passed. I think
Kinda slowly.
I think he actually said that. He was like, let's be honest. I'm probably, it's like this is probably just like the twilight years
Yeah.
for GamePro here. But like, we'll see what we can do with it while it hangs
I
tough.
like him a lot.
Yeah, he's
I
cool.
mean, he's got some cool commentary stuff
For
going
sure.
on. Wow, that's so weird.
It is. It's totally weird.
It's weird. You know what the weird thing is? I guess like I really like that kind of meta story about these guys like writing about games and kind of moving around and like how like they're kind of.
Where is he now? Like he's over here.
And there's this kind
he
of
was
like,
at IGN for a couple months, but now he's with Joystick.
Exactly. Like there's this like jumping from rock to rock kind of thing that goes on in games journalism.
Yeah, totally.
And like I want that story, but no games journalist is enough of a douchebag to write their own meta story.
It's like it's like sports athletes how you follow them. Like he was with this team, and now he got traded.
Yeah, exactly.
He got traded to this other team. It's like all the athletes have their own story, and it's like the same thing with like games journalists. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, it would be cool to see like a documentary on the whole Gersman breakup. Fucking
a whole It doesn't. It sounds like there's not that much there.
But then like the creation of Giant Bomb, kind of that story maybe like more about.
All right. There's probably an interesting story there.
Thing there.
There is actually a thing people can read. I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
But it was basically fuck you. You can Google like Gersman fired something.
Why the fuck did it take so long for you to say the word Google?
I didn't get hung up on the word Google.
It seemed like you were having some trouble.
I was not.
I'm sorry, I came a little stronger out of the gate than I intended.
Why don't you calm the fuck down for a second?
Wait, why the fuck did it take you so long?
All right, Andy's he's on a timeout right now. You can go look up. There's a story that came out like maybe 2 weeks after Jeff Gersman got fired, and it's basically like an interview from an anonymous GameSpot employee, at the time. But I'm like 95% sure it was Ryan Davis, just because it really sounded like him, like the way he spoke or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it was just Ryan Davis writing about like all the stuff that happened. Mm-hmm. And so the whole that was the thing. Like when the night that they announced that GameSpot was going back to like the GameSpot offices.
You mean Giant Bomb?
Yep, that's exactly what I mean. The night that they announced that Giant Bomb was going back to the GameSpot offices with CBS Interactive, they kind of had like they did like a live stream where like Jeff sat down with John Davison and like we're gonna talk it out, but like they didn't. Like I was kind of hoping like maybe I'll hear some details that I never knew before that weren't like, but pretty much that thing with Ryan Davis 2 weeks after Jeff got fired pretty much still has the most in-depth so the story's basically there. I mean it's not a super interesting story. It was more just like so they had like the editor-in-chief of GameSpot left. That was Greg Kasavin. He's with he's with Supergiant now. He made Bastion. Or he helped, he worked on Bastion. And that guy left, and then like instead of bringing in a new editor-in-chief, they kind of had the guy who was like one of the executives. He kind of stepped in and kind of was doing both roles, like as an executive and kind of running GameSpot. But like, so there was a huge conflict of interest because part of his job is making sure they have enough advertising and stuff. Yeah. So, and he had like no experience at all working with any kind of editorial team and stuff. Yeah. He like kind of didn't understand like you can't
like ethics.
Yeah.
Journalistic ethics.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't really get that, and so he fired Jeff Gersman, and that was totally one of those things where even that guy realized 5 minutes after he did it, with like the backlash online, just
God.
Wow, that was kind of the worst thing I could have ever done, wasn't it?
I'm sure their traffic was great after that.
And then of course like immediately after Jeff Gersman got fired, it's like, guess what? We should probably have an actual editor-in-chief.
Yeah.
We should probably reinstate that whole like separation between the journalists and the marketers. Yeah. That's probably a thing that we should do.
The weird thing, I mean, just the thing about two kind of. It's a little too ancestral, like having like Giant Bomb be now back with GameSpot. I don't understand how that just like business brain makes sense, because how long does it take for an executive to look at that and say, why do we have two of these?
It's because
why do we have two?
We've talked about this a little bit because it's different audiences. Like people that go to Giant Bomb don't really go to GameSpot.
Yeah. I just feel like that's like an argument you have to really make very convincingly over and over again. You know?
Yeah, I think people are. I mean, like. There are plenty of stuff like GameSpy is still. Wait, are they still around? Shit,
I don't know what they
might
do.
not.
I don't
be
even
around.
know what the fuck GameSpy does. Can we be clear on that?
GameSpy was just yet another like games journalist website.
I thought they had some weird services.
That was
too,
the thing.
they?
GameSpy ran multiplayer services. Like they had servers and stuff. So it was like, hey, you're making a game. Hook up with us. We'll take care of your multiplayer. That was kind of the thing that they did. And then they made like a game review site of the same name, but
Yeah.
like with no, there was no other involvement. It was just
Okay.
the same name.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, which kind of like it basically.
And then Xbox Live was a thing.
It kind of like totally hamstrung the whole site because anytime there was a negative review of something, people would just be like, these guys are so fucking biased. Like, it doesn't even make sense because they are in games but also reviewing games. These guys are fucking money hat bullshit assholes.
Money hats.
Money hats.
Money hats. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's weird. It's cool, I guess.
It seems cool. It's nice that they probably don't have to worry about losing their jobs anymore.
Was that a thing? I mean, wasn't
Whiskey
Giant Bomb
Media
at a spot where they were making money for themselves?
I mean, they had to be sold, so probably not.
I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing was that the Giant Bomb guys did have a hand in the decision. It wasn't just like we're shipping you off to GameSpot. They were like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And they're like, "You know what? That's actually could work out."
Okay.
So they say. I don't know.
Yeah. It fried my brain, that whole thing.
Sorry.
The people moving around and then being the same.
I'm pretty sure I told you about this.
No, definitely not. I didn't know about this at all.
Yeah, it was.
This isn't even one of those things I forgot, which is usually the case. Yeah.
Well, how do you know? How do you know you didn't just forget that you forgot?
Where am I?
Okay.
Who is this? So I think the moral of the story is that Halo 4 is gonna
that's
be
how
great.
Giant Bomb won E3.
There it is. Halo 4 is going to be awesome. I think what we
I hope
got
so.
on that.
I hope it is.
It's going to be good. I have faith.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Okay. I'm excited. Is it? I know it sounds super petty, but I'm one of those people that's like kind of upset that Master Chief doesn't look like he did in Halo 3.
Yeah, I know.
It's like he couldn't have gotten new armor because he was off by himself, lost in space. How could he have possibly gotten a new suit of armor? Why does he look different? Why is Cortana different? These aren't the characters. This is bullshit.
Because somewhere else on that same ship was the newest armor. The newest and best armor.
Oh, you got me.
There it is.
It's just weird because, like, Halo 3 ended with them just being lost in space.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fucking awesome. They're just gone. Who knows where they could end up? And then the legendary ending just shows them drifting towards a planet. I'm like, they're already somewhere. Great. Well, that kind of.
Somewhere.
I just
Really?
thought. I felt like.
Wait.
I felt like it totally undercut like the.
No,
Yeah.
I challenge this opinion because in your mind, what do you think they were going to do with the rest of that series?
Well, no, I'm not. It's not
you
like
thought that was going to go silently into the night. They weren't. gonna
No,
make
but
more
I mean,
Halo
I thought it
games?
was kind of like. I just thought it was a really cool way to end the series.
Yeah.
Because at the time Halo 3 was supposed to be the end of Halo, or at least I mean that was the idea, right? And so, well, here's the thing. I knew that they weren't cuz it was like, he says wake me when you need me and he goes into the thing cuz that was kind of
Foreshadowing.
it was like he was saying that to Cortana, but he was also kind of saying that to us. Like he was trying, like Master Chief was saying, like, "Hey guys, I'm taking a nap. Like I'm taking a rest for a while. We'll come back with Halo 4 in like 3 years or something."
It's like the end of There Will Be Blood when.
No, I haven't seen it. I still haven't seen it.
Says.
I still haven't seen it.
Are you serious?
I still haven't seen it. I don't want people to say.
Anyway, anyone who's seen that movie knows what that last line is and knows how ambiguous it is.
Okay.
But no, I thought the fucking legendary ending was awesome.
No,
I don't see where you're coming from.
All right, because here's the thing. It's like a total It's like a totally ambiguous ending. It's kind of like you don't know what's gonna happen to them, right? Like and it kind of it felt to me like they were gonna let Halo stew for a few years. Little did I know they weren't gonna do that at all.
No, I don't.
You never felt like that?
No, I never felt. I mean, maybe it's just because
I thought it was gonna be like, all right, guys, Halo is over. Halo's taking a break. Master Chief will come back when the time is right.
Maybe, Kyle. Maybe I just have too much of a meta awareness of the business, right? But I knew when I played that game that they're working. They're probably already working on a fucking sequel.
Okay, well,
In that, my expectation was very much that, like, well, whatever happens to the ship, it's gonna end up somewhere. Someone's gonna find them, and then we're gonna.
I'm trying to stress this. It's not that I didn't think that they would end up somewhere.
Okay.
It's not that I didn't understand how stories work or how series
really?
work.
Because
It's not.
like that.
It's not that. It's just that I liked the idea of like. For however much time would be until Halo 3, till when Master Chief came back, that you thought of like where Master Chief is like he's just somewhere, like he's just lost somewhere,
Okay, so
and then
like that.
and then when Master Chief comes back, that's when we'll see what happens to Master Chief. But then because of the legendary ending, over all these years, when you think back of like what's Master Chief doing? Oh, he's on that planet. And
I guess
being on a planet is not as cool as being adrift in space.
I see what you're saying, but I would argue that if it hadn't ended that way, and then they kind of weirdly retconned that ship floated towards a planet, I wouldn't have bought it as much. I think it would have been like, oh well, great. Great, it's fucking floating into a planet now. Like
That's
oh, well,
cool.
they had to put it somewhere.
Because that was like remember? Do you remember
that
this part
argument
though?
sounded a lot more convincing in my head.
Do you? Sorry, but do you remember this part? Is that it was almost kind of sad because like Cortana's going to be by herself. Remember, like he's just like, well, I'm going to sleep,
Good night.
and so it sort of ended with like this slow pullback of like you saw Cortana just kind of standing by herself, just kind of like looking out somewhere,
Sad, yeah.
and then it kind of like like the hologram like slowly flickers away, and then it like fades to black. It was kind of like I don't know. It was.
I guess. I mean, you have.
I guess that was what I was thinking. It was kind of like Cortana's all by herself now, but then actually not because they're already here.
You have an ability to convey your crazy dreams as some kind of weird magic, and I'll give you credit for that.
Listen, Andy.
Yeah.
I don't put it against you because not everyone has the same kind of vision that I have.
Yeah, and not everyone has that fucking charming, just channel that you have to get it out into the world. I see what you're saying. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I thought it was... Honestly, my reaction was when I saw the legendary ending was, oh, cool. Can't wait.
Really? Because, see, I felt like the normal ending, at least...
You know what my... Wait. You know what my reaction to the normal ending was? Oh, cool. Can't wait.
Yeah. But, all right. So here's the thing. Halo hasn't always had the most compelling narrative, right? So I thought it was kind of cool because that ending, it did have at least some emotions involved,
It
right?
had like some mystery to it, which was cool.
And some mystery, whereas it kind of felt like, you know what I'm saying though, right?
It had intrigue.
It was almost like, because it was kind of sad because you like the characters, right?
Yeah.
And the characters are lost. It's like, oh, these characters that I like. They're gone.
Yeah.
They're missing.
It's more compelling than them being dead or them being...
They're off by themselves, and like, they're... So
you felt like
they're lost. They're missing. These characters that I like, they're nowhere to be found now. Actually, oh wait, they're right there.
We'll find a new word for lost in a little bit, but that's... No, I know what you're saying.
All right,
you feel like they
listen,
pulled the curtain back a little too much.
Maybe. No, because that's what I'm saying. It was never a question of whether there would be another game with Master Chief. Of course there would be.
But I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It's like you don't. I guess you're right.
I mean that in the sense that they revealed too much about what.
Because think about it. What was in the legendary ending? Nothing. You just saw a planet and they're at it. It's like we knew that they were gonna be at a place. So why are you...
But the idea of this little tidbit at the end of the Legendary ending got me to play it through on Legendary.
Because if they go from Halo 3 to Halo 4, that's 5 years, right?
Yeah.
That would be 5 years of them being lost. And then after 5 years, it's like, oh, they're found, right?
Yeah,
but instead, it was 2 seconds. It was they're lost, they're found.
You could do the real timeline thing. Yeah, I guess they weren't lost too long.
Right? Yeah.
But actually, no, that's not true because we don't necessarily know how long after... I mean, because in our minds, it's right after, right?
I see what you're saying. But
like, there actually could be a long span of time between the end of Halo 3 and the Legendary ending of Halo 3.
But that's not what it implies.
Which is annoying.
Why are we still talking about this?
This is the Halo 3
I'm just saying,
cast.
imagine a game, imagine a movie, right? Where, like...
I can't.
There, two people it's like an action movie, they're on an adventure, they're out in some, like... They're on an island, right?
Yeah, okay.
And then at the end, they are leaving on a plane, and the plane crashes in the ocean, and it's like they're adrift, right?
Yeah.
That's how it ends. It's like they're lost at sea.
Amelia Earhart.
Right?
Gotcha.
They're lost at sea, but then after the credits, it just fades back in, and they see a boat passing by, or they see like another island. It's like, well, then they're not lost at sea, are they? Like it just ends with, oh wait, never mind, they're not lost because they're right there.
Well, when you say it like that, it's shitty.
Yeah, exactly, because it's the exact same thing.
But in fairness, you're pitching to Universal next week. So you've
guys, please don't take this story.
Yeah, that's all we have, guys.
Man, was this last 30 minutes just talking about the legendary ending of Halo 3?
No. I looked at the clock. The last 35, 40 minutes was a mix of
Wait, can you hold on
games.
1 second?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Where are you going?
I have to pee.
Are you real? Stop the recording.
No, it'll only be a second.
Well, I'm gonna pee too. I did just get promoted.
Really?
Yeah, I got my first promotion paycheck. It was bigger than my last one.
Nice. What is your new position?
I'm a shift supervisor.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So that means that you do what?
That means that I make $11 an hour because
You talked about this, actually.
Yes. Did I?
Yeah,
Great. I handle the money more than I used to.
I see.
And today, my manager yelled at me because I accidentally left like
You were like,
$2,000 in the back room, and I was unattended. And apparently,
Jeez.
if someone wanted to steal it, they could have.
They probably could have, though. I
Yeah,
mean, that's a lot of money.
No, I'm not being dramatic.
You know?
No, she's actually my manager's really cool, but she has this weird way of yelling at me where she's like making light of it, but also like very serious at the
Right.
same time.
That's better than just actually yelling, though.
It's much better. It's
Okay.
because I don't feel nearly as bad.
But instead of talking about that, you know,
Guys, if you guys want to stop by my work when I'm working and you need two grand, just let me know. I mean, this is probably just sitting out there.
yeah, this is a good forum for all your black market dealings because the feds will never find this.
Cut that out because I could get fired.
Yeah, I probably should.
Thank you.
But you know, we never finished talking about Watch Dogs or E3 really.
Oh fuck.
I don't even
Can't
know.
you like copy paste this back in or something? Just do we have to admit
I forget
that?
if we finished talking about Watch Dogs,
We
but it was just
didn't
kind
really.
of like I saw the Watch Dogs demo and I thought it definitely cool. I'm a big fan of like, you know, cyberpunk, techno warfare kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that looked interesting. It was just that like, I mean, it looked nice. It just didn't really. We still don't know what the game is at all.
No, we have
and
no idea.
And I wonder if that's almost more what people are so excited about. It's just like, for once, there was a game that they showed at E3, and it looked cool, and we still don't know what it is or when it's going to be out.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I think that was it. I think I said jokingly when we were watching the trailer, emergent gameplay, when like he presses the thing and at the end of the trailer
And
all the stoplights go out, he like basically like a little EMP or some kind of control.
Oh no, it was that it turned all the traffic lights. It turned them all green.
Oh, it turned them all green. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like controlled that.
and so it cost like a 10-car pileup.
Yeah, which is like a really cool. The thing that's cool about that idea is that maybe I could do that anywhere, or like
Right.
if I have that kind of agency in the world just generally, like then that's awesome.
Right.
But that's like set piece stuff. Like for them to do that everywhere is
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It seems like, oh shit, you can just walk up to an intersection and cause a crazy 10-car pileup. But
Yeah.
it could have just been like a total scripted moment of like, you know, this is your mission. You're going to end by causing a pileup
Yeah.
at this intersection.
Which, of course-
Then again, and if you think about it, if you lived in a world where anyone at any time could just make all the traffic lights green, you'd probably be a lot more cautious about about driving through an intersection.
Yeah, you'd look a little before that.
And then because it looked like a single player game, and then at the end the big twist was that they showed, oh shit, it's actually multiplayer. There's another person here, and then
Is that what they were saying though?
yeah.
That it was multiplayer? Is that?
Oh
did they
yeah,
actually
because
talk about that.
on stage, there was another a spotlight came on showing another person with a controller,
Oh, okay.
and it shifted to their view. And then I think at the end, you know, it pulls back and kind of implies that there would be players all over the place. Like,
Yeah.
So we don't know. It's like, oh, is this some kind of crazy like pseudo MMO type
Yeah.
like cops and robbers game or something? I don't know.
It looked like some kind of cool, and then it kind of ends with just this thing of like, everyone watch this guy, like, hopefully he escapes, like, we'll try to take care of him now. But
Right, right.
It's almost this weird, loosely affiliated thing where, like,
And
it's like kind of menacing, where, like, maybe he might get taken out because they don't really need him anymore, kind of thing.
Right, and he was he was like calling out like as the criminal got away, and there was another voice that was like, all right, we've got our eyes on him, we're going to follow him or something. And I wasn't sure if the implication was that that would be another player who was just really eloquent and well coordinated with this other player,
Yeah.
or if that was a AI thing.
I mean,
So that's the thing. We don't really know anything about this game.
don't.
It just looks neat.
I imagine it would probably end up being something like maybe drop in, drop out, and maybe like some kind of like zoning thing. It's not going to be an MMO.
I don't know.
It would be like a situation where you got maybe like 8-10 people in a world, right?
I don't know. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the easy thing to think about because we don't know. It could be some crazy, you know, new thing, like new kind of way to do online in a game that we haven't seen before. Because it is, I mean, it is pretty much, we're almost totally sure it's going to be a next-gen game.
Yeah.
So who knows what their ideas for the online connectivity aspect of the game could be. You don't know.
'Cause
it
they
might be
really-
online only.
Ubisoft loves Ubisoft. Ubisoft
It's
loves...
Ubisoft.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've heard you say...
I know.
Holy shit.
Nobody knows.
Take the knife.
The people
out
at
of my
Ubisoft
back.
don't even know. You know how you know? It started, the Watch Dogs demo started by saying a Ubisoft production. Because if it was Ubisoft, it would be an Ubisoft production.
Yeah, you're right.
'Cause you know what it was? Ubisoft is actually short for Ubiquitous Software.
Holy shit.
Yeah. My theory was that it
Alright.
started as Ubisoft for Ubiquitous Software, then all the French people pronounced it as Ubisoft because they're
Ubisoft.
French.
Yeah.
Because they're French, and then everyone did that. But then once they figured out that, with like the whole new like you thing, like you play, it's all about you. We make
Yeah.
games for you. Then they went back to Ubisoft.
Huh. Yes, because you've been saying Ubisoft so long that
That was
I
the thing.
thought I was just a dummy.
Before I got into like following games and stuff, I would see the word Ubisoft and I would pronounce it Ubisoft.
Me too.
And then once I started following games, everyone pronounced it as Ubisoft, so I had to like make that switch in my
yeah,
brain.
it was a conscious thing.
And like now that I went through that, I refuse to switch it back because it's like, you made me go through this. I was already pronouncing it right. I'm not going back.
Jerks.
I'm not going back to jail.
No, Kyle, I know. I don't want to imply that. All right.
SimCity looked awesome. I'm just trying to run through like other
kind of
E3
other
stuff.
E3 stuff. What else is
SimCity looked
cool?
awesome.
Anything to say about that, or just the tweet version?
It looked like SimCity. Looked pretty awesome.
Cool.
Oh wait, no, okay. Listen, this stuff actually sounded pretty amazing.
Yeah.
There's like an online system where your city is gonna be in a space, and it'll be next to other players' cities, and like their city actually affects yours. Like you can do trade with them.
That's cool.
But like also if they're like super over polluted, like the pollution might like seep over into your
Ecological.
yeah, stuff like that. Or like if one city has a really high crime rate, criminals will go from their city to neighboring cities to do crime,
Like a festering boil.
Exactly. So all this interconnectivity sounds pretty amazing. Because I think
cool.
that was kind of the idea that Cities XL was trying to do. But Cities XL tried to charge a monthly fee and call it an MMO, which is a huge mistake.
Is the what do you call it? What's that other Civilization 5 Gods and Kings thing?
Civ 5. Yeah, that's not that already came out. That's not,
out.
Yeah.
Should I get that?
It sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you have Civ 5?
No.
Oh,
But isn't that a standalone also?
no, it's an expansion.
Okay. Damn. All right.
Dude, yeah.
I might peruse the Steam store. I got some things.
There's so many good Mac games on Steam now.
Yeah, I'm worried about my Mac's like getting old, like 2008.
You can still handle plenty of stuff.
Maybe. Diablo 3
Oh.
is what I'm really thinking about.
Yeah, you could handle Diablo 3.
Have you played Diablo 3?
Yeah, I've played Diablo 3. I beat it on normal.
Well, how do you feel?
I feel like it's an amazing game.
Okay, like
With
really, you seem very subdued when you
No.
say that.
So yeah, because I played it a while ago, so I'm not in it anymore. I'm not like super excited about it, but like it's so well made. It's
Yeah.
like because Diablo 2 I loved,
Yeah.
and it's like a total classic game, but it actually had a lot of gameplay issues. Like a lot of the bosses just involved dying over and over again and then
Yeah.
warping back over and over and that kind of stuff. And like they've actually fixed all that, so like bosses are actually designed so you can beat them and that kind of stuff. And it's just really designed.
You should probably give me your,
really good.
your Steam account.
I could give you a 10-day pass also Diablo's not on Steam because
10-day
it's a Blizzard game.
It's not? Fuck.
But Diablo comes with guest passes. Oh
Okay.
wait, no, you know what actually? It's not even a 10-day thing. It's just it's called the Starter Edition.
Yeah.
Where you can just play normally, but you can't get past level 10
All right.
or 13 or something.
Yeah, man, I'll do it.
Oh, but the problem is you can only play with other Starter Edition people. That's their incentive to get you to upgrade is that like you can give your friend a guest pass, but your friend with the guest pass can't play with you.
That's so sad. Why?
It's sad. Yeah, it's
I don't
kinda
like
dumb.
That. Why can't Blizzard just get on the Steam bandwagon? What?
That whole guest pass thing didn't really have anything to do with Steam, but
I know, but I like Steam.
they don't have to be on Steam because they don't have to be.
I know.
They'll still
I know
own the
why.
universe.
It wasn't a literal. It was a rhetorical.
I'm sorry.
What else happened at E3?
I don't know. Shit. Wait. No. Forget E3.
New
I actually
Usher
had.
game.
There's a new Usher game coming
Yeah.
out. I actually wait. Speaking of the Sim stuff.
Yeah.
I actually played a game on my Android that I liked. It's called Rebuild, and it's a city management sim type game, but where you're basically managing a small city of survivors in a zombie apocalypse. So it's like you start off really small and you try to like expand. So like you'll send. It's just like a sim, so there's no like action element to it. It's just like all numbers and sending people places. But you have like survivors, and they'll have different stats. Like some will be better at fighting,
Oh, I
and
can
some
get
will
it
be
too.
Yeah, you totally can. It's on iOS also.
Yeah, you're not the only one who can have it.
I know. I don't play a lot of games on my Android though, because most of them bore me.
No.
So I was just because this was like one of these games where I tried to play it a bunch of times, but I always did it like right at night when I went to bed. So I would start the tutorial and then just be like, I gotta go to sleep.
Not to revisit our Nintendo 3DS conversation.
Yeah, what's up?
But it's weird to me, like just the psychological effect that having a smartphone has on me, in which I really don't play any game that is really significantly like I don't really have any meaty gaming experiences on this thing, but it's just enough that I'm not going to ever buy a portable
really
system.
need it. Like yeah, that's the thing. Like there are all these games that come out on like 3DS and stuff that are like these like meaty experiences, like you say, but it's like, okay, I want to play that game because it looks fun and it's only on 3DS, but I don't actually want to bring it anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to play it at home on a big screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's so stupid.
It's this weird thing where this satisfies me just enough that I don't need anything. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
totally.
need to pay $200 for a portable. Anyway.
Anyways, this is one of those games that it actually, my sleep schedule right now is fucked up because I kept trying
Your sleep schedule is always fucked up.
No, it was normal and good, but I fucked it up because I kept trying to play Rebuild at bedtime. And I would always just end up, like, going to sleep instead.
Yeah.
But then the one time where I actually finished the tutorial, then I just stayed up for the next 4.5 hours playing the game and completely ruined myself.
Define normal bedtime for you.
It was midnight?
Huh? Really?
Yeah, see? See?
Weird.
I was on a good schedule.
You wake up at like 9?
It was 1. So then I stayed up till 5 playing Rebuild.
Okay.
And that fucked me.
There it is.
It's cool. You send your guys out to different places to scavenge for food, or to you have to clear the zombies out of all the places before you can add it to your city. So you send out your fighters, be like, go kill all the zombies here, and then you'll send out your builders to reclaim it for your city.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. You can find other survivors to bring into your city.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of like
Would you recommend it? It costs $3.
it's actually only 99 cents on Android right now.
Fuck.
Yeah. Suck on that. But it's pretty clearly it's like a sim game that's inspired by Walking Dead. Don't do that. Have you watched Walking Dead?
I watched the first episode. It was good.
Yeah, I think I watched the second one.
I bought the Telltale game.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that. I played that yesterday.
I haven't finished it, but it's really cool so far.
It's fucking awesome.
I'm still very much at the beginning, but it's cool.
You should finish it. It's only 2 hours long.
Yeah. Did they release the next one yet?
No.
Okay.
But the first one, that was a good $5.
It was it's nice to be like, oh, Telltale's making a good game again. It's been a little while.
Has it? Really?
I feel like it has. Jurassic Park.
I know Jurassic Park. You must have bought that because you love Jurassic Park.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I always thought it looked bad. So
I don't have money. Yeah.
All right.
Huh.
I think that's enough.
I think we're out of it. Yeah, we're on Steam here. This has been a good one.
Yeah, sure.
That was fine.
Oh,
no,
2 hours. What did we do?
a little too meta. I don't know. What
I gotta
the fuck
cut
we're
some of
talking
this
about.
stuff out.
Cut it.
All right.
Cut the fuck out of this shit.
Gotta cut it.
Emery.
Cut it down. We gotta cut this off. That's it for episode 8 of the Run Button Podcast. Thank you for listening. You can find more episodes at runbuttonpodcast.com, or you can check out our videos and Let's Plays on youtube.com/runbutton.
We have a website?
It just forwards to our FeedBurner page.
Great.
Yeah. And also you can follow me on Twitter at 19 letters long. You can follow Keith at something dumb. Andy's not on Twitter.
I am.
At-
Andy T-Short. I never use it.
At Andy T. Short. Yeah, so you're not on Twitter.
If I get back on Twitter, I'll let you guys know.
You should get on Twitter.
I tweet occasionally.
It's fun.
I tweet from my Flipboard.
All right, we're done here.
Okay.
See you later.